Hey, what's going on, guys? As a full-time artist, sometimes it's hard to see how much you've improved. You know, working every day, you don't really see much of the progression. So a good thing to do is to go back and check out all your previous work and see if there's any progression, you know, as you're moving along. So now's a good time to do what every YouTuber likes to do and fire up that tier list maker. Now, I've brought the boys back, Jackson and Rui, to help me critique my work and see how it ranks up when they're pitted against each other.
All right. Melvin,
It's me.
you ready to run the gauntlet?
Yeah, let's do this.
Nice.
Bit short, whatever, smaller list than you guys, but it'd be cool to see what you all think.
No, I mean, we get more time to talk about your stuff, so let's see.
Yeah,
Let's tier list.
See
So-
where they go.
We're gonna judge it by design. We're gonna judge it by coolness, and we're gonna judge it by how much we want to see these characters in the game, and
Yep.
possibly gameplay. Depends, because
see.
some of these have gameplay, the other ones don't.
We have a bit of a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Melvin,
Who's
you want
first?
to introduce the first one?
First one, we'll go
Yeah.
with Green Goblin for the first one.
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Gobbo.
Um,
What would you say, Mel? First of all, or what do you think?
No, we can't. We can't ask Melvin first.
Yeah, we
okay.
can.
That's so biased. Melvin's the last one to. He's the
He's the
tiebreaker.
last.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Okay.
between you and me. So
Oh,
whoever
really?
we're
You-
judging is
you
like the
don't-
last.
Really, you go then. You don't.
I
you
think.
go.
I think. To be honest, I'm gonna say that Green Goblin is like A or S for me
ooh.
because you know how much of a sucker I am for like backstory and like lore of the character and all that. So
Yeah. Yep. No, that's fair enough.
I think. Yeah, I think. But Melvin, I don't think you told us what the gameplay is for Green Goblin.
No, I did. I think it was, but then it was quite a while ago, right? Because like one of my first ones.
Yeah.
I think the idea was that he was a strategist, but he didn't heal, and he was more just like
Oh, you
casting
did.
a lot of debuffs,
Yeah.
and like
Yep.
poison stacks and stuff. So he'd
He-
be like flying in and out of combat, low health pool, but like high regeneration. But so he'd come in and out, drop debuffs on people, and then I think his ultimate he could trigger the stacks of poison to like
That's
explode
right,
and then
yeah.
he'll do damage.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did do the ability sheet for this one. What do you reckon, Jackson? I'm thinking S or A.
I'm thinking A. I love the design of him as well, just purely how unique he is, I guess, compared to the characters that we've been creating. So, yeah, I'm putting him in A. And I mean, I'm not much of a support player. Maybe if I was a support main, I would go S. But
I think a
Oh,
gliding support would be sick. Like we don't have too
They're-
many.
they're bringing in
gliders.
Ultron, who's a flying support.
True,
so it's gonna be
true.
interesting.
Oh, that's
So-
true. Yeah.
But
All right.
Melvin beat him to it. They stole his idea. All good
Well-
though.
What do you think, Melvin? What would you personally rank this one out of all your ones?
I guess like visual wise, I think I don't know if it's as like as crazy because there's also like a one I did earlier on. So I guess we're still trying to figure out the kinks of like drawing these characters. But like you mentioned, I do like how I pulled off the design and stuff because at first I was worried about how I would make this interesting or like my version of it. So, but then you know the end result I'm super happy with. So, I think it's a good starting point. I'd say B or maybe A. Personally,
All right. Well, that settles it. It's A.
That's A then.
That's
put
an
him in
A. All right. Next up, we
Yeah,
have
cool.
Dormammu.
Dormammu.
I'm gonna be honest. This is straight up S tier for me. This is my favorite out of your entire lineup.
yeah, damn.
When you got
Yeah.
Dormammu, I had an idea of what you do, but I didn't know it would be that. And like, in my opinion, that's an S. But we'll see. We gotta compromise.
I would say out of Melbourne's one, he's probably my favorite too. So I'm putting him in S for sure.
You're putting him in S.
Yeah.
Oof, Melvin. Last thoughts on him.
Yeah,
is
it's
a quick
probably
one.
an easy yes.
I don't
yeah,
think I don't think you did. You talk about any abilities with him?
Nah, we didn't. I wasn't 100% sure what he would do at all.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the design of it and the colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
it's
right.
the most like me with my designs and stuff. So
That's an easy S.
easy S.
Easy
Done.
S.
Yeah, get him in there. He's S.
Deadpool. Deadpool is next. Melvin got the easy one, the duelist Deadpool.
Easy one.
Yeah.
But went insane
think of
with
it?
the weapons.
Yeah. I guess one of you guys should go first on your opinions.
So one of the things that I talk about a lot on my videos is silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one is probably because of all the weapons on his back, the silhouette doesn't say Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So I think I'm leaning towards a B with this one. Like I like the pose. The pose is really cool, and the design of the costume. But I just think readability wise, I'm looking at him very small. If Deadpool didn't have the Deadpool colors there, I'd out of all of them, that one I'm having a harder time reading.
Yeah, readability is definitely a little tricky, I think.
Yeah. Well, you've got once you start adding the weapons on his back and stuff, it's like it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
But it's also
I like the idea of the game. This is like the gameplay aspect.
The
How
gameplay.
he drew a random weapon that you wouldn't be able to pick, but you would just randomly draw and they all had different effects, and you just had to use that weapon as it came up. Yeah.
Like he chooses it for you instead of you choosing the weapon. Yeah. Jackson?
Yeah, I do like the idea of that. And like I used to be a Punisher main before I started tanking as Thor, so it would be fun to have another guy who shoots, and especially with all the different kinds of weapons, I think it would make it more exciting. But yeah, design-wise, I don't know. There's not a lot you could do to Deadpool without taking away from his iconic look. So I would probably agree with the B.
B?
Purely just because, yeah, like if S tiers Dormammu up, which is his best one, I feel like that's a fair rating in the B.
B. Melvin, final thoughts.
Mel, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. He's pretty standard looking. So like, the gameplay idea is cool, but in terms of visual design, he's just standard Deadpool. So I think B is a good one.
All right, sweet. Now we've got
feels bad putting him lower than
why? Why?
Is it because you like that character?
Just feels bad, yeah. It's rough.
All right, Juggernaut's next.
Juggernaut,
the first one, the Chodenaut.
The Juggernaut. Oh man, the comments on this one was so funny.
Yeah, on Instagram you got absolutely demolished because why is he so wide? It's Juggernaut.
Bro, his PNG doesn't even fit in the thing. His arms are going.
Yeah, it was funny. But I think a lot of people perceived him to be really small, but I guess it's like there was nothing
you couldn't fit him
comparative. Yeah, it couldn't fit him, but it's like maybe if you had like another character for scale, it could help.
But yeah,
just him on his own, maybe it was tricky for people to see it. I don't know. It's always interesting to see what other people perceive.
I think also because he's so wide. He's like almost as wide as he is tall. So
yeah,
people normally perceive that as like short and stocky.
Yeah, true.
I actually don't know how to rank this because I remember the reveal for this, and Jackson and I lost it for this one. This was such a good reveal.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
This is probably my favorite reveal because like this is the first one that you jumped in after Jackson and I did 2 rounds, and you came in for that third round, and we were like, what's Melvin gonna do? Like, what's he gonna come up with for Juggernaut? And then it was
It was a unique take on Juggernaut as well.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen him in that type of armor as well, which was really cool.
Yeah, I would highly recommend Melvin just putting a clip of Jackson's reaction to this Juggernaut because it's one of my favorites. Sometimes I go back and just watch it.
Oh, you still remember it all the way
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. No, that's good. So what do you reckon you'll put him in, Rui?
Oh, I think I'm being biased because of the reaction.
Yeah.
But it does have a strong silhouette and the designs are really cool. I don't know, man. Jackson, you go first.
I would say A as well because I just remember the first time we saw him, and regardless of people being like, "Oh, he's too wide or short or chode or whatever," like, I still think it's a really cool take on Juggo. So I'd go A.
Yeah. All right. Melvin, last thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, he was still my first one, so I was figuring out the kinks and stuff as well. I feel like you guys being so surprised of it. There is that factor of like an element of surprise because it was my first one and you did not expect it all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
As cool as that is, I don't know if that would. influence the your perception of the design itself. Like if I did this later, would it be not as good?
Well, then how do you feel
we'll never know.
in terms of
You
like
never know.
in terms of like looking back at it now after doing 7 of these, after like what you did with Dormammu and looking back at Juggernaut, how do you rate Juggernaut now?
I think compared to Dormammu, he's not as good as that one. I think like some rendering and some color choices is like not as refined, but I'm still, especially for a first one, I'm actually still happy with how he turned out. I'm still pretty proud of it. But I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say B, but I feel like with these tier lists, like B is always such a safe, like a little cop out.
Well,
answer.
at the end, we can reorganize it and have a better think about it. So we can put him in B for now, and then move him up to A at the end once we see the entire tier list.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'd say B or C. So
I would say B in
Or C. Ooh.
I'd say B in front of Deadpool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll take
Let's
that.
go B then.
So it's like B plus.
Yeah.
Oh, so whoever's at the front of the letter
thing,
as well
yeah,
is better. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
We have Omni-Man.
Omni-Man.
Man.
Jackson.
Omni-Man. I'm trying to think back to doing the Invincible ones. They were really cool.
They were fun.
The pure tankiness of his Omni-Man gets me excited.
Yeah.
Playing his as a Vanguard as well, like playability for a Vanguard like as strong as Omni-Man would be fucking crazy. So that also adds to the rating. I think I would put him in B as well, purely just because his design doesn't excite me as much as say like a Goblin with all the storytelling. It just looks pure badass, but it's not. I don't think it's got as many elements as like Dormammu or Goblin. So I'll probably go B.
Okay. I like it. It's got like this Roman emperor vibe to it. Yeah. And
it needs more gold.
It does need more gold.
Yeah, if only. If it had more gold, it'd be easy S. But...
You go straight to S.
I would have liked to see more gold. Thank you very much.
And the chest design too.
I would put this in A. I put this in A because it's such a badass pose. And it's got those like forearms popping, and it's like it gives off the vibe of Omni-Man. But definitely not above Green Goblin. So like a lower A. What do you?
It's like a B plus, isn't it? What do you reckon, Melv?
I like how I like rendered it and how he turned out, but I think I agree with you, Jackson. How like the design isn't necessarily like there's not much creativity in it. It's just like rivalified version of Omni-Man, and that's the extent of it. I think I'm still happy to turn out. Yeah, like the pose is cool and the design is cool, but I think there's like, I think particularly with all these ones I've done, there's always something like a little bit different with them, and that's when I enjoy them the most or appreciate, a little bit extra in there. And I feel like he doesn't have it, so I would say C probably.
C,
because it's just
C.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck. I guess that like evens it out to like a lower B.
It's like this isn't to say he's terrible. But I think like compared to like everybody else, he doesn't. Yeah,
I mean, look,
keep up.
As artists, we have to be self-critical and realize when we don't personally like things. So you saying C for this doesn't mean it's a bad design. It just means that you probably had less enjoyment creating this than you did, say, Dormammu.
Yeah, I think so.
I still rank it as A, but. If you
what
guys want to,
what did I say again? I said
B.
So if we go in the middle of everyone's, it's B.
Yeah,
because Melv
said
C.
don't want too many B's.
But we're in B. No, we can change it afterwards.
It does. I would put him in front of Deadpool. Yeah.
In front of Deadpool. All right, that we'll settle it there. How do you feel about that, Melvin?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay.
He's like, thanks, guys. just crying on his end.
Well, he ranked it C.
Yeah, I'm the one that's the most critical.
I
just don't want those tiers to be empty. It's got to have someone.
Yeah, we got to put one in D.
No, they don't have to do that.
No. They don't have to fill all
Let's
of them.
put let's put out all
Fair.
our fucking Pokemon drawings from memory in D.
Nah, you're on the lit Omni-Man. That's our
Yeah, the Omni-Man was
That's
it.
I'm the
best.
mind on fire. That was terrible.
All right,
times.
Mikey.
Mikey.
I'd straight up say this is like S or high A.
S or high A.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles was one of, if not the most enjoyable that I can remember doing. And
Yeah.
seeing all of
I
our
agree.
designs, especially when we had them in the lineup, like I really liked that.
That was cool, yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm going S or A, and I remember the storytelling behind this one, how he's like a
Yeah,
different
it's-
universe, Last Ronin type of vibe.
Yeah, where
I really like that.
He discovers that there's multiple universes, so he regains that like
Like the happiness
Mikey,
of like he can
yeah.
find his
The
brothers again.
positive
so-
attitude he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he
And
still
then
has all,
all the-
their weapons and shit, so...
Yeah. So
It's
he's got all the turtles' weapons, and he has a skateboard. And then the gimmick was that the gameplay was he was doing a lot of tricks like Tony Hawk, and that's how you could
Yes.
fast
yeah.
generate your ulti by doing tricks while you're moving.
that has to be an
that's-
S.
I would go... I'm going S. From someone who grew up playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater every time it was my birthday or Christmas, just playing it for weeks on end.
That would be so good.
I put him up
Yeah.
at S.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony
no, I
Hawk
agree.
Pro
It's an
Skater
S,
and
I
listening
think,
to friggin'
Wait.
Eminem's latest album.
S
That's all it
above S above Dormammu or below Dormammu? We can't be like biased because of our favorites, but in terms of design,
is. I think he's good where he is. What do you reckon?
I think so.
You don't.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Alright, the best for last. Play the
hang on.
clip. Play the clip.
The tech wear on the feet. What's that? Those flat shoe business. Flat shoe business.
Come in handy
Yeah,
one
this
day.
is a D.
Can we make a new rank F? You know, for flat shoe?
For flat shoes. So yeah, I got grilled by these guys because I just
You got grilled? I got grilled too.
I think I grilled you by accident and then I got
and then you
ultimate
got Uno
grilled.
reversed.
Yeah, I got a massive Uno reverse card to the point where anything that's flat, they look at me like fucking hard turn.
Shit.
You got me self-conscious
You know
about
what?
drawing feet and shoes. Then, that's for sure.
You know what? Why don't you start, Melvin, with this one?
you gonna give me the okay? Look, I think Daredevil's the character that I'm like least familiar with, and I don't know. This is probably my least favorite out of all the ones I've done. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it at all.
Straight up. So just straight up.
I'm fucking.
Yeah,
I gotta put it somewhere now.
It's
Shit.
D for Daredevil.
No, it's not. It's not D. This is not a D thing. I
So you
think C. I'm gonna say C, but not because of the flat shoes. Because you did the unholy act of covering his horns with a hood, so that the silhouette it looks like
like a Hawkeye or something.
Hawkeye's Ronin.
It
rather
does
than-
look like a red Hawkeye, especially when he's little.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a bow on the back as well.
So that's why I say C, but someone else might like it. Jackson?
Yeah, I think B or C is fair enough for Daredevil. I don't think it's not as visualizingly stimulating as some of the other ones, I guess, but he was cool. And I mean, it was funny, the whole flat shoe business thing, so that could bump him up to B, but
yeah.
I'm thinking,
Probably
yeah.
off to B for the memes.
yeah.
What do you guys reckon?
But I feel like if we don't have one in C, and like if we're comparing it to the other six, I would probably say C then.
We got to be critical of this because like Jackson and I have like fucking 13, 17. And
Yeah. He's definitely.
I know
he's
I've
definitely
got-
my least
Rinse
favorite.
some of them going to get rinsed.
I know
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a few C's. So what do you
get rinsed in the foot spa? I think.
I think we should relook at the B section before we finish.
You want to tweak that a bit?
I think tweak it a little bit. I personally think Juggernaut should bump up to A.
You reckon Jugger should be an A?
I think Jugger should be an A. I just had I think it's got that shock value I can see his like helmet from here. Like it's so tiny, and I know more than the other two next to them. If I didn't know the designs, I'd understand Juggernaut's heaps more than like Omni-Man and Deadpool.
Yeah, true. I
it's
do like
very
them
put
more than the other two. That's for sure.
Put him after the Gob Chan.
After the, I like this list. I like it.
Yeah,
I feel that's good.
What do you think, Melvin?
it's pretty accurate. I think that's kind of.
Is this how you felt?
Kind of how I felt. Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think so. Yeah. So
I would personally, like, in my personal opinion, Green Goblin would be up at S, but
yeah.
I think
Either one is a win, I think.
Those three are your strongest, and I feel like those are the ones that you had the most fun with.
Yeah, definitely. And that always shows, right? And when you're painting and stuff, and you enjoy
100%.
it. Definitely.
Yeah, Thunderbolts.
We don't need to talk about them.
Yeah,
Geez.
I think this is it. This is good.
Yeah, looks good.
All right.
Thanks for helping me out with the tier listing.
No worries. Don't cry about Daredevil. It's okay. So I feel so bad because that's the one that I grilled you on for the flat shoes, and he ended up being.
That's fair.
the
I actually
lowest
think
tier.
that was the one I spent the least time on as well. It's all reflective of everything. Like, not familiar with it, not creative design.
Yeah,
least
no, that's
time on
totally
it,
fair. Yeah,
flattest shoes.
I mean,
It's
look,
all there.
I think all my best ones are my favorite characters, ones that I know about, and that I can actually add lore to. So
And you generally were always going to spend more time on it when you're having fun. So it's
Exactly.
It's just going to be better. But
Well-
yeah, but it'd be funny to see the people in the comments seeing who they would like move.
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let us know in the comments.